Hey folks, welcome back to the video. And we are making a series of let's imagine the future of. In that ahead of the of, it may be a PS code, it may be uh, any AI agent, or it may be anything a technology. So we will explore the future of that particular technology, and it's totally based on our research and some of the research. We will also give some of the research paper and all the sites also. Okay, so today we have done a little bit of research on generative UI, or rich custom visual interactive user interface based on the LLMs and the given prompts and something like that. Okay, so if you haven't watched the earlier video, I will just pin out the link of that particular video in the description. Also, you can go and watch there, or you can just click on the I button. So we get to know what was that exactly and what the research paper I have done. Actually, that was actually from the Google research itself. So you should see that video. Okay, great. So we are on the second day of our series, and today we are gonna go ahead based on this generative UI, and we will see what can be the extended version of the generative UI to the developer specific. Okay, okay. So it's this video is particularly for the developer only, the web developer, backend, Node.js, a much simple one stack developer, or many more. Okay, so moving ahead, let me introduce you today's topic, that is a JSON renderer. Yeah, so this is very a cool open source project that is from the Vercel, actually Vercel Labs itself. You can just go on this link. I will also put this link in the description, so don't worry about that also. Um, Let me introduce this what is exactly. Okay, so as here they have given AI to JSON renderer and to the UI. From this one syntax, one word or the one line itself, you will get to know what they want to do exactly. So basically, AI will give you a JSON, and the JSON renderer, this library itself, it's by the way, it's the npm library. So this library itself will be automatically generate the UI for you. It's a crazy idea. And if we combine this generative UI, our yesterday's videos idea, and this today's JSON render idea combinedly, this can be a very great project, I think. Open source project, I can say that. Okay, so moving ahead, define a component catalog user from a output JSON constraint to your catalog. Your components rendered it. It's a little bit of complex to understand to the Navy developers. Okay, so let me explain it in a easier way what they exactly want to say that. Here they have given the example, and that it's an interactive example, so you can actually interact with it. Uh, I will just show you directly the example. If I put it down here, that okay, I want something like a student registration form for college admission, and if I click enter, so basically this LLM will generate this JSON, this all you can see on the screen, this JSON, and you are getting the UI. You are getting UI directly. So and I think it is the future of LLM code generation, because why I'm saying that, I will tell you in a further video also why I'm saying that this is the future of LLM code generation and not exactly what's currently going on. I will tell you what I want to say. Okay, so okay, moving on, you can see the whole JSON and all of those things. It's very long actually, but okay, you are getting what I want to say exactly. The LLM will output the JSON, and you will get the UI automatically. So basically, now if you try to understand how this is gonna work in the behind the scene, I will highly suggest you can just click here on the GitHub link, and you will be redirected to their GitHub. By the way, for like special mention, actually, they have now 411 forks of this repository and more than 8K plus stars, 8.3K actually. It's it's getting very popular day by day. I'm tracking this repository from last 2 to 3 days, and I get to know that like in each day they are getting more than 1K stars and some of the forks. So lots of the developers are making building on this to make their own libraries or make their own implementation of something crazy idea, and some of they have given the stars, of course. Like, okay, great. So you can go and read this whole repository, what they have done basically, because it's open source. You can also build anything whatever you want on this. And this is the crazy. Okay, here is a npm. You can just copy this from here, and you can just install it. You can see the documentation how it is like. The main idea was that the video's purpose is to explore this type of things. combining them and generating the more unique ideas and imagining the reimagining, I can say that reimagining the future of a generative AI LLM code generation. Because if you think about the limits, okay, what are the limits of LLM code generation? How we can, so there are some of the sectors, I can say, the LLM code optimizations, the token efficiency optimization. For example, I will give you the example. Let me just open up the Excali draw, and then I will give the example what exactly I want to say to you. Um, yeah, so we are on the Excali draw, and here it is. If I take one of, okay, box, and then let me zoom it. Let me zoom it. Just ignore that box and let me zoom it directly into it. Let me give you a scenario, example scenario, why I'm saying that. Okay, so for example, I can say that there is a, like the limit, the token limit, and the pricing. For example, the Cloud Opus 4.5, the latest one of the best coding model in the AI market is Cloud Opus 4.5. They have a limit of something like about $25 per 1 million tokens. Okay, per 1 million token. What is exactly mean by token? So you have to do the research on it and you have to learn it from yourself, no doubt in that. So do a little bit of research, get to know, understand what is mean by tokens, what are the LLM tokens, and what is that exactly for the cloud tokens. So they have given this pricing on their official website. It currently is free for some limit with some limits on the anti-gravity, but upon then eventually it will be get automatically paid, of course, no doubt, after some of days, some of years, and it's gonna very easy. So what are those options for the code optimization, for the token optimization? Okay, so this is the one of base model, and they have this much of high pricing. So there must be a section that will explore the code optimization and the code writing optimization, code generation, token efficiency optimization practices. So I think the JSON renderer does the same thing. Uh, let me just complete the scenario what I exactly want to say. Okay, so for example, if you say ChatGPT to the hi, it will give you a response hello. Okay. If we take this requires only one token. Okay, well, these are just assumption and the examples I'm giving you, not the exact thing or the exact information I can say. These are just assumption and the information. If a chat GPT can give you hello in a one token, if I say him hi, my name is Oman, so chat GPT will give you hello and what are some of more tokens, and it takes a one token actually. So the concept of a generative UI says that okay, let's generate a HTML, CSS, JavaScript, as we saw in earlier videos, our last video, of course. The LLM will generate HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, and then we will render it the UI. We will render the particular user experience, a user curated UI, a personalized UI on the user's browser as a response. Okay, so if I say hi, hello to the ChatGPT, it will give me a card, something like card I can say, or a accordion, or anything like a UI element with a HTML content, and our browser will render it with a personalized experience. So it will automatically increase the token cost, token limit, I can say, the number of token used. Of course, the hello needs one token, then a whole HTML of a minimum of 20 lines. Okay, 20 lines HTML for a generative UI. You will require about an approximate 50 tokens, I can say, 50 tokens. Okay, then 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 what can be the optimized solution for this, to limit the tokens also, and to get our thing done, like to making the user experience good also. So there this library comes in a JSON renderer. So basically your LLM will give a simple JSON. It will give a JSON, not the repeated things, something like HTML. If you know the symbol HTML, there are lots of tags, div tag, image tag, and input tags, form tags. So and in that there are lots of repetition. You have to close, open the tag, you have to close this tag. So AI have to generate these tokens manually, of course, no doubt, and it's costing. Even though the both are the same, closing and opening are the same, but still AI have to generate that tokens, isn't it? So if we something like find out the working behind this in this JSON to the UI converter, then this is gonna very interesting. This is gonna very optimized for the tokens, efficient token generation. I can say that LLM will give you JSON, and this will cost approximately. I cannot say it's less than one token and or the less than 50 tokens, but yeah, it would be something like between 20 tokens. It is less than our 20 lines of HTML itself that is gonna generated by AI or the LLM we are using. So this I can say one of the very interesting use case of the JSON renderer library. It's very interesting for the generative UI. Generative UI concept says, okay, let me generate the user experience. Let me generate the user interactive interface based on the user query, based on the user platform. And JSON renderer says that, okay, let me optimize it. So the LLM will just render the JSON. LLM will give you just JSON, and our middleware or some I can say that our algorithm or this library itself, actually it's now limited to the station. So we are making the project to build expand this to multiple different component libraries to the this one thing. So coming back to the our topic exactly, generative UI says, okay, let me create a user experience, and JSON renderer says, let me optimize it. So you will get a middle option where you will get user interaction, user experience, experience also, and also a token efficiency with this JSON renderer. And I think this is the future of the code generation, because at its highest limit we can reduce the repetition of the code. These are the like some of the standard practices. Even though we use in a coding also in a standard in a production ready code, we can see that the code redundancy is getting reduced. Okay, so there are steps the developer does to reduce the code redundancy. Okay, so we can create a one common function, then use that common function in multiple components, in the multiple controllers, routes, and all of those some of things like async handler, API response, some of these classes. So okay, so we are doing code redundancy in a coding environment in a VS Code, then why not in a LLMs? Because and look, yeah, LLMs are more smarter. They are more smarter to handle these type of scenarios. So I think this would be great. This is gonna upgrade the mixture, and more on this I can say. And some of if we go some of more in a depth, so there is a library called Tune. Okay, Tune GitHub. I can okay here it is. Tune GitHub. If I just search the Tune GitHub and just go on the first link, Tune format slash Tune token oriented object notation. So the long form of JSON is JavaScript object notation. And now we have one more new library that's called a token oriented object notation, and specifically designed for LLM prompts, specs, benchmarks, and they have lots of things actually. A compact human readable schema aware JSON for LLMs prompts. Let me show you what they want to say. Okay, they have given here the architecture also, the JSON encoder, and then tune. It will give the LLM. Then LLM can give you tune, and we will just convert it to the JSON, and then we will convert it to the UI. Or if supports in the future, we will just directly convert the tune to the UI directly. It can be possible. Like the development is going on. The development is going on the JSON renderer, on the tune formatter. So future is very interesting. I can say with this tune. Here you can say they have given the example also. Why tune? AI is becoming cheaper and more accessible, no doubt. But still, some of the best coding models are costly. I can, unfortunately, but they are. But larger context windows allow for larger data inputs as well. LLM tokens still cost money, and that's exactly I wanna say. Earlier I just said the same thing. LLM tokens are still costing the money, and the standard JSON is verbose and token expensive, no doubt, no doubt. So these are like standard JSON, and they have converted into the tune. You can see the difference there, like the standard JSON and the tune. The token differences, the word differences, and lots of stuff. And it's great actually, I can say. So so combining this all of the things, what are those things like it may be like generative UI, Gen UI, and then the our library of JSON renderer, RER, okay, and then the final one is Tune, TOOM. By combining this, all the things, by combining all of these things, I can say this can be the revolutionary the future of coding of the programming. And if we give the focus on this, if we build the libraries on this, if anyone build the npm libraries on this, so this can be a great actually. And it would be suggested that this is not going to limit it to the UI only. Okay, so I'm just imagining what if we can build a backend, a Node.js backend with a JSON. Is that possible? Think, and let me know in the comment section. What do you think if we can, based on this concept of the generation of the UI from the JSON, can we build a backend also? Actually, I have something to tell you, but some of the in later videos, and we will see what that exactly means for me. And there are lots of more ideas. It's going in my mind. I will share you with you. For this particular video, I think it's enough for today, and that's all, guys. So, okay, just let me show you this. This is my Jugadu mic. So, as an Indian, we are Jugadu people. All of the knows that. So, this is my just Hacktoberfest bottle, and I have just put up these two mics on this, and my mic is ready. A professional mic, I can say that. If it's working, then don't touch it, man. Okay. Yeah, that's all for today's video, and I will meet you in a next video. Thank you for watching.